Nick Jimenez, and I'm here with Chris Rui, both of us of Widen Enterprises. So we're here at Widen Enterprises, and we are joined in this Google Plus Hangout by Mark Davey of the DAM Foundation, who is also a DAM consultant and has helped us with a number of DAM white papers and other thought leadership content. And it's been a while, Mark, since you saw the Widen Media Collective, so we're going to go through some of the major feature additions and updates that were made with versions 6.0 and 6.1. With that, I'll actually, Mark, if you want to introduce yourself beyond the introduction I gave you, just for people who might be tuning into this or watching later.
Hi Nick, hi Chris. Yeah, I think it must be a year since I've seen, or just over a year since I last saw the collective, so I'm very interested to see what new updates and iterations you have.
All right, great. And Chris, do you want to talk a little bit about, just for a moment, what it is that your role is here at Widen? And
Sure. I'm one of the digital asset management advisors on the team, and what I'll do is help prospective customers with their evaluations and just help point them in the directions that are going to be most helpful.
Okay, and as you can see, for the sake of this live demo, we have a little bit of an improvised Google Plus setup, but Chris, you've already unmuted yourself, so I'm going to mute my microphone so that all you see is the Google Plus, the Widen Collective demo. So that's it for me, and we'll move the camera so you see a little more of Chris down here in the corner.
Looking gorgeous today, Chris.
Thanks, Mark. Are you hearing me okay at all?
Yeah, loud and clear.
Oh, great. Okay, it's terrific. Well, gosh, since you haven't seen this for a year, that means we've gone through 4 upgrades as opposed to just 2. So I'll try and step back before version 6.0 and 6.1 a little bit. But let's kind of start in with what we've done over the last 6 months and go from there. So I think we've added probably, about 30 customers since that last time. So we're in the new UI, which you may not have seen. We released this over the last probably over a 6-month period, starting late last year. So all the clients are on the new user interface, and adoption was swift, and clients really liked it. So
adoption was pretty straightforward because you're software as a service, I take it. No sort of kickbacks, no choice in that regard.
Yes, that's very much the case. And we brought clients through a sort of an extended preparation period where they could see some advanced videos and some collateral that they could use to help promote and let users know it was coming. And we did a number of web meetings for administrators and general users to let them know about the new features. And it really was it was a very smooth transition. We didn't experience at all what we might have expected would be even a little bit of pushback. Where's my this? Where's my that? So it was very satisfying because we put a lot of work into making it simpler and incorporating changes that customers had been asking for. So a big feature, before I get into some of what we've just added over the last 2 releases, a big feature is the addition of faceted searching. So we incorporated controlled vocabulary metadata fields, 4 different types: an autocomplete, a drop-down, a checkbox, and a multi-select palette, which can be set as search filters. So if I just do a very broad search for Widen, you'll notice on the left nav, it expands and will show the refined search results, which will consist of some automatic indexing of where that term widen shows up in the browsing categories and what file types, if I want to narrow it down by that way. And within our new collections lightbox or collections feature, and then also depending on which metadata fields I had set up as search filters, so that somebody can do a search and pretty quickly say, well, show me everything for production and assembly. And so we go from 200 and some results down to about 6, and then of course the faceted search will re-index, and so I'll say, oh, okay, well, fine, I don't care about the documents, just show me the images. So a couple clicks will take somebody down to exactly the search result that they're looking for. It's been a revelation for some customers who've been asking for this, to quickly be able to set up new metadata fields to support this. And of course, now the batch editing supports up to 500 assets at a time. So, and that's up from just I think a couple hundred in the old UI. And we've also added in quite a few speed increases. So results display faster, searches are quicker, and that's always, as you know, with software as a service, that's the holy grail, is or one of them is to increase speed. And another aspect of that, if I do just a search across all assets, that I'm able to interact with in the role that I'm in for this demo. There are some thousands in here, but you'll also notice that we've now incorporated the Google Infinite or Virtual Scroll, which is especially helpful for clients who may have some compromised bandwidth. We don't want them to have to wait 2 or 3 minutes for search results to display. So we'll at least display the first 15 or 20, and then cache the rest as their if they have a large result.
Chris, you mentioned control vocabulary at the beginning for the faceted search. Are you embedding a control vocabulary, or are the clients able to put their own in?
The client is putting their own in. So that'll kind of take us to a good segue to the next step, because I want to show you a little behind the scenes of what we've done for all the assets. So we'll pick on this green sea turtle. I'll just click to get behind to the asset details, and let's just quickly edit all of the metadata fields. So examples would be them being able to set up a multi-select palette, add all, remove all, select different ones. So there's one example. Another example will be a multi-select checkbox, or a drop-down, and that so if for example a publisher is Widen, then we can have a dependency for any other type of field. So in this case, the Widen publisher details will only display if I've selected Widen as the publisher. And another type of controlled field would be what we'd call an autocomplete. So I could pick from this list just like I can with a drop down, or if I wanted to just start typing anything within that, an A is going to bring me up all the A's. You know, 1, 2 is you can set that as a control vocabulary. And were you sort of asking about perhaps taxonomy, or rather thesaurus, or was this what you were talking about?
Yeah, well, the fact that you mentioned the control vocabulary and the ability to add that at the admin side, and that would obviously fit in a taxonomy. It would be good to have a look at how you're handling that now.
Technologies that we can use for
different
taxonomy,
for
thesaurus, and
thesaurus.
We haven't incorporated that.
We haven't incorporated that yet, but it's in our roadmap. So while we're hanging out here at this behind the scenes, a few other things to talk about that are new are social media integration. So this is an image, of course, but if I were pulling up a video, and if I did have permission, I'd be able to publish to Facebook, Twitter, or YouTube. And again, that's role based. So only certain roles would be able to see that capability. Likewise, some new capability that we added around the embed links feature. You know, embed links has been quite popular. The ability to push or publish images, video, audio, and PDFs to online sources. But what was not part of that was the ability to control the application of embed links with release and expiration dates. So now what we've done is we've added the ability to take the if I just roll up this screen for a moment and go into the asset security, to tie release and expiration dates to the publication of embed links. So if I were to come in and say change an expiration date to some future date or some earlier date and save that, then it's just going to let me know that you know, unreleasing or expiring this asset will affect the embed link. So as well as alerts, which is another aspect that we've just added. It will receive notifications.
Hey, just wanted to point out that Jake Athey, also of our marketing team, has joined us in the Hangout. We had a little bit of a setup snafu there at the beginning, but just so people watching later on are confused about who that fourth guy is in the corner peering at you through his webcam.
Hiya, Jake.
You want to unmute yourself? That off.
Hi, Mark.
Hi. There was a bit of sound quality issue there, so hopefully you picked that up. So if I understand correctly, because you're now able to embed any asset on the social sites, Facebook, YouTube, and Twitter, but you can also remove that asset on a time basis.
Yes, I believe if we're in social media, are we able to remove it based on the same criteria that we use for embed links, or that I'm not sure about. I know that with the embed link is different from the social media integration. So the controls that I'm talking about for setting release and expiration tied to embed links is not the same as the social media integration timing. So
okay, sorry. Like I say, the sound went down. I thought that's what you're saying, that you could actually embed the link onto Facebook, and should you wish to remove that and take the asset time delay on it, that it would remove it from the social media. You couldn't do it from Twitter, for instance, because of the way Twitter works. But yeah, interesting.
Yeah, actually, with the Facebook and Twitter publishing right now, we're publishing links to the asset on a landing page as opposed to sending the file to those social networks. That keeps our customers, the brand owners, still in control of the file as opposed to uploading it to Facebook albums, for example. That was the first phase. The next phase will allow for uploading of the image asset to photo albums And then with Twitter, it's just tweet with a link to that asset on a Widen-owned domain, so that they have complete control over the life of that asset before it runs rampant through the wild social media world. So that's the first phase of it. And with YouTube publishing, it's just direct to YouTube. Just authorize your account. It's just publishing the file to YouTube, and there it lives.
And does the metadata travel with it to YouTube?
Yes, with Facebook, YouTube, and Facebook and YouTube and Twitter, the keywords and descriptions can go with it. So with Facebook and YouTube, you get your keywords. With Twitter and everything, the description is what makes for the social post. So you can edit it while you're doing that, but at least gives you a starting point with the description from the file.
Thank you.
Thanks, Jake. So, while we're sort of talking about alerts, that's a new feature, and also a phase 1. So alerts now, and more user subscription-based notifications coming. So the alerts palette is just down here, socially friendly. So depending on who I am, I can watch assets, and if I'm watching an asset, I can just as a general user, I can watch based on a number of criteria. Is it approaching expiration? Is there a new version? Has metadata been updated? So whenever I come in and I can see, for example, all right, a couple of the assets have updated metadata, or I might see that if I'm an admin, I have certain messages, or even as a general user, I can track and see, oh, there are some new assets that have just been added. And then further admin tasks could be tasks that I can access from here, or my admin tab. And from just the standpoint of the user profile, so I'll come into my alerts preferences, and a general user can track new assets, updated metadata, expiring assets, and updated assets. And then administrators, depending on their permission, they'll receive a variety of alerts about users and asset-related tasks. And of course, we continue to support the email notifications, subscription-based, for the administrators to be able to be notified about a variety of things, asset uploads and user registration requests, and then relating back to embed links to receive expiring embed links notifications to decide what to do with that asset that's being displayed out in the wild.
And are those notifications real time?
Yes, they are.
Okay, cool.
Well, real time, I'd say for asset uploads, for example, the delay is maybe just the time that it takes until the asset has completed being uploaded, meaning it's gone through its processing and virus scanning and extracting any embedded metadata and generating the previews. So perhaps an administrator might receive a notification within 5 minutes of an asset being uploaded. So let's just say close to real time.
Okay, and are we receiving any analytics from where those assets have gone?
Where they've gone outside the site?
So yeah, are you getting any additional analytic information for an embed to YouTube, for instance, or where the link's been published to Twitter? That's
an area that we're growing into more. We've established an integration with Digimark for tracking rights managed assets after they've left the site. Where are they? What's going on with them? We've established those analytics for videos through Google Analytics, and a number of clients are using that integration right now. And so we continue to move ahead in providing more analytics for what's going on with those assets outside the site. But right now, the focus has been on video.
Okay, so that's a new iteration, the ability to add your Google Analytics to the platform.
Mm-hmm.
Or is that something I missed?
Well, we've offered it for some time, but we've only just, I'd say, in the last 6 months, started providing more webinars and how-to information to clients for those who are heavy Google Analytics users. So we're spending more time helping them to do that. It's been available as long as anybody's wanted to link up Google Analytics. So we've just sort of caught up with helping to set it up and design reporting structures for them.
Okay, is that a customization, or are you able to embed your analytics Java code directly into the collective?
It's not a customization. It's simply taking advantage of the features that Google Analytics already provides and really correlating them with the existing code.
As an API call or an embed of the script? Embedded the script, thank you. Mm-hmm. And of course, everybody's getting more into the analytics and the metrics nowadays, so that's going to help it on the way.
Exactly. And we've done a major overhaul of our reporting functionality, and now we've gone in two separate directions. One is more of a quick export to Excel, which I'll show a little bit more later, and the other aspect is just more of a built-in analytics dashboard, which is part of the release coming out later this month. So we'll have to have our return visit to show you about the new built-in analytics.
I look forward to it.
Yes. And wrapping up maybe one more slight mention to a capability for within searching that we recently added back was what you'd call a multiple asset search. So quite frequently somebody might already have a list of assets or file names or production files that they want to find within the site. So they can search by a variety of criteria, or also just in this case say grab a list of grab a list of file names and enter them in either with a space or carriage return and do a search and then pull the results back just based on file name. So just that was a feature actually that we had in the old UI, and it was one of the ones that, believe it or not, was a little bit more complex to implement, and so we waited until a little bit later to bring it back. So clients who were using it before were glad to see it back. We've done quite a bit of enhancement to the upload workflow. We've incorporated a new Java tool that for those people who can upload, we've added some wizard capabilities and made the upload speed faster. It's going direct to Amazon now as opposed to coming through our data center and then to Amazon, and also file sizes are dramatically increased. So essentially, one can upload in one session not only multiple file types or folders in one session, but also multiple gigabytes. So 3, 5, 10 gigs or more at a time. And this more and more tends to replace FTP, which was our part of the design. Mac and PC as well can use this. So if I come in, there are two ways to go about this depending on my permission. The first thing is I'm going to select an upload profile, which of course, as you remember, is the upload profile consists of a number of workflow rules that are going to determine, well, first of all, who has permission to use that profile, but then where are the assets going to go, who's going to be notified, what are the security settings, shall they remain unreleased, or waiting for approval, what metadata schema should be incorporated, and what category structure what category should they be in, one or more for browsing, should they have release or expiration dates to start with. So all those elements, and how is version control supported, or what version control direction is needed for the assets with that profile. But now we've given the ability, if someone has permission, to be able to on the fly revise those. So if I use this upload wizard, and if I do have permission, I can on the fly change what the asset group assignment is, meaning the security settings for the assets in this batch that I'm uploading. Likewise, I can set or override release and expiration dates. Or, again, permission-based, I can either assign on the fly the assets into one or more categories, or, and this is a customer-requested feature, I can create a top-level category on the fly to add those assets into. As part of our new collection or lightbox feature, which we'll talk about a little bit later, now it's the ability to add to or create a new collection on the fly. And likewise, being able to add metadata in batch, or even override the metadata schema that's typically associated with this profile, and being able to select a different schema. So again, this is all based on that user's permission. So a user in one role may have permission to use this upload profile, but not have the permission to do any overrides. Somebody in another role might have access to that upload profile and does have some, but perhaps not all permissions to override. So as always, the permission structure is just as granular as you remember it to be.
Yeah, and I guess that's saving an awful lot of time as well, that it's doing permissioning at that level.
Yes, exactly. This whole upload wizard was really the result of a number of client requests to be able to have this capability. So then once somebody has either overridden or accepted those changes, made any changes, they could simply have started at this upload tool, which is just the.
Let me just interrupt you for a second. If you could pull up the Hangout screen, because right now we're only sharing this window.
Oh, okay, thanks.
So let's
yeah.
Let's see, hit that screen share. Hit it again. And let's see, just do the desktop, and it'll just show everything that's on your screen.
Yeah, good.
There we go.
There we go. Okay. So now we're seeing the upload wizard, and what's nice about this wizard also now, it was Mac and PC capable, but what we were noticing is that in some cases, and not under our control, Mac and Java would not necessarily play well together. So we really looked for a better open source tool to kind of overcome those limitations. And if somebody doesn't have Java installed, they can simply use an alternate upload tool, which will allow them also to drag and drop. So this is kind of always the challenge that we're facing, is that we want to make this popular browser compatible and Mac and PC compatible. And you know as well as I do that browsers update when they want to update, and we have to stay on top of that. So
tell me about it.
Yeah.
So do you still have the FTP feature?
We do, but really it's because you can let anyone, you can give anyone a login, and simply allow them to only have access to an upload profile and not anything else in DAM. Then this really overcomes a lot of the reason to even use FTP. Now, in addition to that, we're setting it up so that the clients will be able to upload directly to Amazon without even using this upload profile. So it's something that will look a little bit more like FTP, but have it set up so that an outside a vendor whom you don't wish to have access even to an upload profile will be able to upload directly to Amazon S3. So as soon as that's polished over the next couple of weeks, we'll be able to show you that as well. And
so the idea here is that uploading directly into the S3, the workflow is picked up into the DAM?
that's correct. That's exactly right. It's just routed directly, just like we did with FTP, would be routed directly into DAM. So what I'll also mention as part of the upload tool, which is new that we didn't have before, is we'll generate previews of those files. You don't have to wait for them. You can simply start uploading. But we will generate previews of the image files as part of the upload, so that and also provide a little bit of a minor editing capability, cropping, if you wish, or rotating and minor color correction, which somebody may or may not want to take advantage of. But it's just the fact that it's an added benefit to using this new upload tool. And I'd say of those, rotating was the biggest request from clients, the ability to have some rotate capability upon upload.
So as the assets are uploading, you can do some small editing features within the uploader. Very good.
Yeah, that's exactly right. So I can just, I can just grab one and make those changes. So just a simple, just some very very simple edit tools. But for somebody who needs to do that on the fly, it's it's obviously it's very valuable.
Yeah, it's clever, very clever.
So big changes to the uploader. And since we were talking a little bit about exporting, full exporting from a variety of places is available. Export to Excel. So a big part of this is not only being able to is more quickly get reports on user activity, on asset activity, on selected let's just say, selected search results. So if I just go back and do that big search for Widen again and say, okay, give me the of these, I want to just grab the the stuff for marketing and communications, and what I need an output of all the file information from these quickly, so I can simply come and do an export. We continue to support the ability to grab a contact sheet with that's deep linked, and we can get back to that a little bit later. But the export results is simply saying, okay, you want to export all the metadata and file information from this group of assets. So so it'll schedule the creation of an export, and by scheduling I just mean it can take and can take 15-20 seconds sometimes, depending on the size of the file, and then it'll go in the queue, and you'll get an alert when it's ready. If it's a really large export, because sometimes they're doing exports of some tens of thousands of files, so it will save all of your exports so that you can come and grab a report again and simply download the desktop and grab that and do what you want with it, slice and dice however you wish. So we've placed this export capability throughout the system, within advanced search, within admin tools, within user information, so that what we learned from talking with clients about our reporting capability is they wanted something faster, something on the fly that they could then slice and dice any way that they wanted to.
So if that's exported, are they able to edit that and re-import?
I suppose conceivably they could. Give me the use case.
I don't know. I'm just thinking if there's an export there and someone wants to quickly change and edit the spreadsheet and then re-import, but I can't think of a use case for that.
Yeah, I can't either. But I was
no, strike that from the video.
but it was interesting. The so let's shift gears a little bit and talk a little bit more about this feature that we added before this latest rounds of updates, the collections feature, but it's really taken off. You remember some time ago we used to have a feature called portfolios, which was really a precursor to collections. But we looked at how people use light boxes, and we wanted to incorporate those capabilities, and then more. So there are two kinds of collections. There are personal collections and global collections. I can just say, okay, I want to take these assets right here, and I'm working on a project. So I want to take these 6, and I want to add them to a collection. Now you'll notice, before I add these to a collection, that this whole area in here, the selection panel, this is new to you. We used to, as you remember, we used to have a shopping cart, which we'd had for years and years. Clients told us, some said we like the concept of it, but we don't like it to be called a cart. So we debated about how we wanted to incorporate that shopping cart functionality in the new site. We thought, well, there are different things that somebody wants to do once they've gathered, 1, 50, 100, 500, 1,000 assets. What do they want to do with them? So what we decided was we'll put them into a little selection area, and then from here they can do a number of things to them. They could order them to themselves or another, meaning download, or send to somebody else. They could perhaps do a batch edit. They could do a batch delete. So there are a number of things that somebody's going to want to do once they've selected a number of assets. Anything that is selected is just going to be highlighted in yellow and remain so until you've done whatever you're going to do to them. But in this case, add to collection means I have any number of personal collections for things that I'm working on that I want to share with others, that I want to continue to add to, and so on, or I want to create new collections on the fly. So collections will show up in your tab, your collections tab, and there are sort of 3 flavors of collections. They're the ones that you have, the ones that have been shared with you, and there are global collections. Global collections are simply ones that will show up in search results. So the results that you saw when you've seen results earlier, you've maybe thought, why is this one gray and nothing else is? Well, that's because this is a collection. So when this asset shows up in a search result, if that's part of this collection, then this collection will show up. So I can just drill down and see everything that's in this global collection. And again, the only distinction is that if I go back to collections, you can see the ones that are global are such because someone with administrative privileges has said, I want to take this collection, I want it to display in search results. It's part of a new campaign. It's something that I want to draw people's attention to. So I want everybody who has permission to interact with at least one of the assets in that collection to be able to see that when they're doing search results. So the administrator,
great for campaign management.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So if you're looking for this, you're automatically going to find that. Sharing also is a big part of it. So anyone can share their collections with someone who is or is not a user. It doesn't mean that that non-user is going to be able to download, but just come to your collections and click share. Pick from your address list who you want to share them with. Change the email subject if you want. Add up to 8,000 characters in notes and share the collection. So that's it. So now I've shared that collection with somebody. And just to show you what it looks like, I'm going to log out to simulate reality here. And I'll go to my email. And then I'll get that email that's branded for the client site that this person has shared a collection, and click here to view it. And so the non-user, just like the user, is brought to this this share page. This is essentially a microsite. It's not set to expire. The only thing that's going to expire this is if the person who created the collection deletes the collection. But as they add more assets or remove assets from this collection, they'll simply either grow or get smaller depending on what they've added in here. Now Go ahead. You were going to say something.
Yeah, so effectively what you're creating there is a unique URL that could be used for content or products or whatever, or campaigns, as a microsite itself, virtually on the fly.
That's right, on the fly. The only issue is that this collection has to either have been shared globally so that everybody can access it who has a login, or in this case, this is just a personal collection that's been shared with, say, a non-user. But if I log in, which I will shortly, you'll see I'm going to be brought right to that collection. This then forms the basis for then a new collaborative tool that we're adding to the collections, which is for some routing and review and commenting, which I'll talk about shortly. But you'll notice from this collection, so I can I can go through them this way. I can I can come in on anything and I can zoom in and with the Zoomify feature, and or I can play it as a slideshow and just see it in full screen. Or you'll also notice down here I can browse through them this way, and we have they're indexed based on the type of file they are. So images are going to be in the first index, video second, and in the other file types in another. So other file types would be PDFs, PowerPoints, Word docs, etc. Of course, a full multi-page view of PowerPoints, Word docs, and PDFs. And what's really nice for video is I think we had added this HD feature before, but now here is someone who is a non-user from this microsite. They'll just get a full-length HD stream right from Amazon. They don't have to have access. So there's a lot of capabilities, as I'm sure you can imagine, with grabbing and sharing these. Then
when was this launched, Chris?
We launched collections last year, and we it was 6.0, and then 6.1, which was earlier this year. We added the ability. We added this new look and feel to it. So this is phase 2 of the look and feel of collections.
So are you finding clients using fairly unique ways to repurpose this?
We'd like to know more about what they're doing with it, and I expect that we're going to hear more about it at the upcoming User Summit on September 17th and 18th. So
hey, nice segue.
Yeah, thanks. You set me up, my friend. So,
I didn't know that.
So,
no, I could already imagine various ways of approaching that. No, I really like it. Very good. Very clever.
Right. And so let's just say that we're doing some collaboration, and you've shared this with me. I'm logging in, and upon login, I'll just be brought right to that collection that has been that's been shared with me. So I can do some other things with this. I can say, well, I want to grab these, and I'm going to, add these to another collection. Or since you've shared them with me, and maybe we're collaborating, and you're saying, take a look at these 35 images. Which ones do you like best? Well, I can simply remove the ones that I don't like, and that's again, that's what you can do with a personal collection that's shared. If a global collection has been shared, that user, unless they have that privilege, they won't be able to remove things from that collection, which is appropriate because that was set by an administrator. So yep, lots of things you can do with collections.
Yeah, and speeding up collaboration time as well.
Yes, exactly. So this is another thing. Speaking of collaboration that we've done, as you know, we've supported a collaboration tool for some years, a built-in routing and approval collaboration tool upstream of digital asset management. But we, candidly speaking, we fell a little bit behind on it because we weren't updating it. It did exactly what it needed to do for those clients who relied on it. But as time went by, if we wanted to propose it as a solution for new clients, it didn't have the feature set that was really needed. Plus, what we found was that that people who need to collaborate on assets either upstream or after they've been added to DAM really kind of go into two camps. One camp is, high-end collaboration capability. They need to do a lot of markup, a lot of review, a lot of routing, multiple file types, and really do some significant routing, approval, and workflow management. So since we weren't going to take 2 years to develop it, and there's so much technology out there right now doing that, we've set up a relationship with ConceptShare, and you may be familiar with them from their integration with OpenText and I believe with Atom.
Yeah.
That's right. But we're not trying to build this right into DAM. There's no need. We want a best-in-class integration. So we're using the API to link with ConceptShare, both the professional and the workgroup edition. So if people need to do high-end collaboration, they can go this route right away today. Because, as you know, a number of clients who use this don't even have an integration with their DAM system. So we're going to add that convenience for the integration. Then, for clients who need something lighter weight, that's what we're doing with the built-in collaboration, which we expect to debut later this year. More of a light.
So have you actually integrated with Concept?
We're doing so right now. We're in the process of writing the integration. We finished inking the agreement, but we've been scoping this for some time because we've been in conversations for some months with them. They had pursued us, for a couple years, and it was when we finally, really, some months ago, made the decision to kind of the final decision that we wanted to sunset the existing product. Then we thought, well, let's take it two directions. Let's integrate with ConceptShare for big time collaboration, and let's just build in and give our current clients some lightweight collaboration tools, because a lot of times that's all they need.
Well, you just gave me a scoop, so I'll give you a scoop. I was one of the first people to pay in the DAM space for Nish's tool, which is fantastic, absolutely fantastic, and I use it for projects all the time. So yeah,
we love it.
It's a good move. Yeah, it's very good.
It is fabulous, and Nish is a smooth operator, and he he has a fabulous product. It's enviable.
Yeah.
We could never, we couldn't devote the resources to invent something like that. He's a genius. So that's really a direction we're continuing to pursue. Is we've really overhauled our API significantly over the past 6 months, 8 months. That's something that's not really showing up in our release notes very much, but major overhaul, because so many clients were using it, and they brought back some significant requests, and so as part of that major API upgrade, we've just thought, well, we need to use it more, and so we're doing more integrations with ConceptShare, with WebCMS, and other tools as well. And when any client wants to use our API, we provide it. We provide full support for it. And probably the only regret that I have is that right now, of all the clients that are using it, we don't know exactly how they're using it. They're obviously using it successfully because we know they have it set up and they're running a lot of data, but once we've got it running for them, we don't really track what they're doing with it. So
is your model on this then? You've still got your annotation tools, which you've taken on some stream, but is this an add-on to the client?
The ConceptShare integration is an add-on, so they'll work directly with ConceptShare to have it set up. Although, as you know, working with it, there's not much of a learning curve. But the annotation and routing that we're now building in right into DAM is going to be a no cost item. While our current collaboration and markup tool, there is an extra cost for it. But as I say, we're sunsetting that. We want to take care of the existing clients who are using it, and making sure that their transition is smooth to whichever tool they want to use. But yeah, the project collaboration is as you had seen it. That we still, we still have video demos of it on the website. But it is a product we're sunsetting in 2013, later 2013.
Yeah, you got to recognise that it's such a good tool that to put the resources to even get close to it just wouldn't work. So it's a good move, very good move. And you're opening up your APIs more as well, so that's fantastic.
That's exactly right. Exactly right. So another thing clients had requested was since the collection is truly a microsite, that site's not going to expire, but asset orders, when you send the pickup link to someone, that does expire. Yes, of course, globally we could set it so that the expiration of that link would not occur for maybe 21 days versus 7 days or 3 days. Still, administrators have asked for more control over that. So as part of the latest upgrade, we added that ability. So an administrator is simply going to be able to come to order administration, either from here or from their admin tasks. And within order administration, an administrator can currently aspire a pickup link or also extend an order, and extend it virtually indefinitely if they wish. So, sometimes somebody sent something that they think, well, I shouldn't have sent that. I should have sent something else. So expiration and extension of pickup links. Since our delivery mechanism is really great, and everyone who uses it is highly complimentary. But that was the missing link: is the ability for admins to control expiration and extensions. And then another add-on capability, really downstream of digital asset management, which we've supported for a long time, is our the dynamic media building tool, and we've upgraded that to the new UI earlier this year. So if someone does have this add-on and they want to create brand-approved promotional material on the fly, we've made the UI consistent with our with the current UI. So just easier, faster to use. So if somebody has permission to access some or more of these templates, they'd simply come in and click the build icon, and then we've just made it a lot easier to use. So as you know, it's simply being able to drop approved images or text or contact information into predefined areas, either have approvals workflows set up or not, and be able to say, okay, well, this is the field I'm working with. What do I want to add in here? Well, let's add this logo instead, or let's go back to this one, or in this field, and being able to simply browse the fields where information is going to be entered, and or come and simply review from here. Okay, tagline could be one that is, for example, this could be locked down text, a variety of different text fields that you can put in that are locked down so somebody can't edit them. Same with body copy. It's up to the client whether they want to say, all right, we want to let our users choose from a variety of body copies locked down, or let them edit it, and then just preview what you have, and either get it in an instant PDF download, or select different order. Different formats, with and without bleeds and with or without bleeds and crops, or high-res PDF or low-res PDF, or of course the various print provider integrations. So if I say I want to take this and print it with FedEx Office or whomever, then I can simply say, okay, quantity, paper stock, proof type, etc., or whatever, however the user wants to have it set up for order profiles.
The variable fields for that, Chris. Are they done at the admin level?
Yes, they are. They're done at the admin level. So it's really locked down and brand approved.
Yeah, so you can lock it down so that the logo can't be changed, but you can quickly repurpose the content or the pricing and the imagery quite straightforward. But the actual setting up of the templating for that is done at the admin level.
It is. It's done. The admin will provide us an InDesign file, and we'll run a quick conversion to transform it into the PageFlex compatible format, and then they can set up their variables, their approved assets and text and so on.
Okay, I love the new UI with everything you're doing. Is it responsive? Is it playing well on iPads and mobiles?
It is, and not surprisingly, it plays better on iPad than it does in Android. A little more pinching and zooming, or zooming and scrolling needed on an Android than on an iPad, but very well. And since you bring that up, we earlier this year, or perhaps it was even late last year, we changed the video previewing to HTML5.
All HTML5 now.
Correct.
Excellent. Flash is dead.
Yeah. Well, it's had its day.
Amen.
Brother. So that's kind of what I wanted to show you in this session, but we have more on the way. So, as always.
Well, thank you very, very much for that, guys. Impressive. I'd like to get my hands on and have a play. I've probably still got a login somewhere, haven't I?
We'll find it for you.
Just need to update my emails.
Yeah.
No, I'll definitely come in and have another play. No, very good, very interesting, and nice to see the iterations as the market moves and marketing technology changes so rapidly. You're keeping up with it.
Well, thanks, Mark.
No problem. Thanks, Jake. Thanks, Nick. Thanks, Chris.
Thank you.
Okay.
Thanks, Mark.
My pleasure.
Take care.